One organization wants you to put away your cell phone before you start your car and drive away. Most horses like Jimmy here can see. I'm Will Tapper. I've got the story of a competitive horse that can't see coming up. Now, the Athens County Board of Developmental Disabilities relies heavily on volunteers like these OU students who are doing the first step into transforming sheets of metal like this into beautiful flowers like these, which are created by PassionWorks artists. David is a graduate of Trimble High School here in Gloucester. In fact, he lives right across the street from the stadium, and he says that if services like food stamps and medical assistance for his kids were cut from Job and Family Services, it'd be really detrimental to his family. Research organizations and drivers we talk to agree. Using your cell phone behind the wheel just isn't a good idea. This may look and sound like a rushing river, but it's actually a McDonald's parking lot. Rob Munn's son owns the store. Munn was in Charleston when he heard about the flooding, and he rushed back to Ohio to check on his business.
I've been here 30 years, and this is the third one that I've seen.
Several people were stranded and had to get rescued via boat or risk wading through the water.
When I walked through, it was about 4 feet up to my belly button.
Jackson's mayor says the rain fell incredibly fast, which caused the waters to rise very quickly.
We had a pretty severe flood in 1997, so we have plans in place, and I have great employees that know how to react in any emergency, and they've really done great tonight.
He says the parts of the town that usually flood didn't, while other areas did.
It seems that the storm, the center of it, must have been right around here in our southern part of our business district, and it was just too much rain too soon, and it just could not handle it.
It all happened so quick, the water just came up.
As for Munn, he says the restaurant across the street from him flooded. He placed some sandbags around his restaurant to keep it dry, and planning for flooding a few years ago helped to keep his store dry.
We rebuilt this store 2 years ago, and I had the people raise it another 6 inches, just so if this happened, and that might be the difference right now.
That's the sound many in Athens County are facing after the sound of strong winds was all that was heard here last night. This is a scene from Autotech on East State Street last night. This morning, the daylight revealed the extent of the damage to the business.
The city police called and said we had to get down here and said that, the Autotech had been hit, and I said, how bad is it? And he said it's flattened.
After that phone call, Autotech's co-owner Cheryl Higgins headed from her damaged home in the Plains to her business in Athens.
Headed back down here to find it just destroyed.
She says most of the damage was done in a matter of seconds.
Basically, when the wind went through, it just lifted the building up and then just shot it everywhere.
Now, as you can see, the Higgins face a daunting cleanup effort here, and they're racing to get back in business because of their busiest weekend, Halloween. It's just a little over a month away.
Our plan is to rebuild.
Cheryl says the amount of money Autotech brings in towing cars on Halloween is enough to cover its insurance bill for the year. She estimates there's about $1 million in damage to the business, and she's working with the insurance company so the business can open again as soon as possible. As she looks over the remains of the 2-decade-old business, she hopes she never has to go through an experience like this again.
Pray to God this never happens again. It's not supposed to happen in Athens County.
Becca Setzer got her horse Stormy on her 8th birthday. Stormy had just turned 3, and as Becca thought, he had a long life of competition ahead of him. But 6 years ago, that all changed.
His eyesight is completely, 110% gone.
Stormy had a disease that made him go blind overnight. The vet said there wasn't much hope for the now blind equine.
A blind horse's quality of life, in his own words, was very diminished.
After surgery to fix Stormy's vision failed, the vet suggested putting him down.
But I was 15, I think, when he went blind, and I was way too stubborn to believe that, I think. And I told him that I wasn't about to put him down. Step up, down.
Today, Stormy goes head-to-head against horses that can see.
Some promoters of a horse show won't let a blind horse compete. So there have been some times where I didn't tell anyone that he was blind, and they didn't even know the difference.
Stormy rides in competitive trail rides all over Ohio and the country. He was one of 36 horses selected to participate in a nationwide extreme cowboy race.
He was by far a crowd favorite, and including myself, I don't think there was a dry eye in the arena after he competed.
She says Stormy has become one of the most well-known blind horses. And for Becca and Stormy, believing is more than seeing.
Blindness in horses is really not the end of the road, or the end of the trail, I guess I should say.
In New Marshfield, Will Tapper, WOUB News.